Welcome back to the Football Fitness Blueprint, and today we talk about adding muscle and getting lean. Now this is common questions I get from football players all the time. So the first thing to consider when we look at adding muscle and getting lean, rather than thinking of gaining muscle and fat loss, I want you to think about body composition. Now body composition is effectively making up of our body weight, which is combined of muscle, bone and fat. So you can see on the left here the World Cup data from 2018, where we look at players' age, their height and their weight. So before we think about should I add muscle, should I get lean, you have to consider what your body weight currently is, what your height is, and of course how old you are. These are all going to impact on what your goal should actually be. What we have to be aware of is if you are kind of a little bit of extra muscle mass that's unneeded or extra body fat that's unneeded, then it could drain your energy because you have to move that around the pitch. It could decrease your speed, and of course it could decrease your self-confidence depending on what it is. Always bear in mind though that more muscle doesn't always equal better, and less fat doesn't always equal better. You have to ask yourself, is it a limiting factor in your performance and your day-to-day life? So that could be psychologically. Again, like we've spoke about all right through this module, success leaves clues. Very rarely will you see people who prepare for football, regardless of what they do in their training, who are overweight. You can see all shapes and sizes here, from Salah to De Bruyne to Piqué. These are all world-class players. However, they all prepare for football and they're all lean. Okay, they're not all looking like men's cover models, but they're all in great shape. They're all very lean, and I'm pretty sure any one of us would be delighted to have the career that they've got. So just think, these players prepare like pros, look after themselves on and off the pitch, train in the gym a little bit, train on the pitch a bit, and look after themselves, and this is how they'll end up looking. So very rarely is fat loss a goal for these players. So adding muscle, famously Leon Goretzka in probably 18 months put on a lot of muscle mass. So it's very common and very easy to do that in football, but you have to be cautious of the time of the season you do it, because you've got a lot of training load with your football. So common myths we see is you need to train for hours to make progress, but really a lot of players I make progress with only train 3 times a week for 30 to 45 minutes and they get great progress. At maximum, 75 minutes. People worry about adding muscle to make them slow because they're not bodybuilders, and you're right, you're not a bodybuilder, but you shouldn't be training like a bodybuilder. You should be training like an athlete. And that means sprint, jump, lift, and then look at your nutrition to ensure you add some muscle mass. Some of the best players in the world have added muscle to their frame and it's transformed their careers. Some people don't want to go to the gym to add muscle because they say they don't have time or they hate it. But a lot of players who I train with, sometimes I give them bodyweight workouts or home workouts that last 10-20 minutes, or they only train once or twice a week and they still make progress. It might take a little bit longer, but they still make progress. Same for getting lean. You need to work out what works for you. You don't have to go into some mad fat burning training plan because it will affect your football. The majority of your changes when getting lean come from nutrition. Just prepare for football, sort your nutrition and get a good structured training plan. You think you're not a football player, a pro player, so that's why you don't look like one. But realistically, pros don't have any access to special foods or training secrets. They're just held accountable by their coaches and they're consistent for long periods of time. You don't need to try and get a six-pack. You don't need to have to eat salads all the time. Six-packs don't mean you're going to be better at football, and shifting unwanted body fat is more about total calories consumed rather than just eating salads. So you can still eat what you want, just a little bit less of it. Common mistakes, training for the wrong goal. Again, we've spoken about this in the past. What is your goal? Try to train through an injury. Be sensible, you need to play football. You don't have a plan. Having a plan for 2 times a week is better than having no plan, going 5 times a week to the gym. Just changing up training for the sake of it, too much variety, that happens a lot because we see some shiny things on social media, or making it too advanced. You can make it as simple as possible while you make progress and save the advanced things until later on in your training career when you need something different to change up and make progress. 2 to 3 times a week, any time of the season. Here's some feedback of players who've trained just recently in July on a 6-week programme, all feeling great on the pitch. Some of them are in season, and there's one of them in pre-season. In general, this is a rule, I would say, is roughly on experience. Usually younger players need to add a little bit of muscle to their frame. Amateur players shift some unwanted body fat. Semi-pro players, same, and pro don't have to worry about it. So your task is to decide what your training goal will be. Do you add muscle or get lean, or neither? Comment to let me know, and then download the little body composition overview. Any questions, just let me know.